Today, I want to talk about something that I've seen a lot in Facebook groups with people asking questions about pricing. And I see these normally, but today there was one on the National Association of Tax Preparers fee study, and the comments on that Facebook post prompted me to want to talk about this today because many of you are actually underpricing, and this is whether you're in tax, bookkeeping, it doesn't matter. There's so many of you that are underpricing. And someone shared that results of that price study, which I had seen it a couple months ago, and it confirmed what we've been talking about for a long time. Accountants are underpricing significantly because in that post, a lot of people are like, man, I need to raise my prices. And those prices in that study were so freaking low. It broke my heart. And before you think, yeah, but my situation is different, I want you to stay with me for a minute because the question isn't, are people underpricing? The real question is why. Why are so many incredibly smart, capable accountants charging prices that require them to work insane hours just to freaking survive? That's the question I want to answer today. Why does the thought of raising prices create so much anxiety, especially going into tax season? And I know this because number one, I was you. And number two, I work with accountants every single day that we have. There's not one day that we do not have this conversation. So I want you to think about what underpricing really costs you. And it's not just money. It costs your time, your energy, your health, your confidence, your leadership, and your family time. And then tax season hits and everything freaking breaks in half. You're working even more hours. You're trying to keep up. Everybody needs something from you, and you don't even know what to do next. And so it's like you're in this never ending hamster wheel that starts over every January. And I know some of you are still in it right today. And here's what I want to say clearly. Most accountants don't underprice because they don't understand math. They understand because of fear of rejection, fear of what clients think, fear of being seen as greedy, fear of losing people, fear of being judged. And for many, fear rooted way deeper than pricing. This goes way, way back of why we don't value ourselves. And sometimes it's just we don't understand what it really cost. And I have these conversations with clients every single day about what it costs. And I'm going to use a tax return, but you can take bookkeeping for the same thing. What it cost for one tax return. Because I hear all the time, well, it only takes me 15 minutes because all they have is the W-2. First of all, it takes way more than 15 minutes. I hate to tell you this. I don't care if you're the best tax preparer in the world. It takes more than 15 minutes. By the time you gather all the information, you put the information in, you save all the stuff that you need to save for it. You process the return, you send it to a client, you wait to get the 8879, you do something with an engagement letter if you have one, and I hope you do. All of that stuff is not there. Plus, the amount of continuing education that we have to do every single year to stay in compliance. The amount of continuing education cost, the amount of software costs, our software costs are astronomical for small firms. Then you have cybersecurity. You have all the things that you're required to do by the IRS. And bookkeepers, you're in the same situation. You have QuickBooks Online, you have payroll, you have all the software. But that's what most of you are missing. You're missing what these soft costs are. How many hours do you spend in continuing education? Most of you get way more than you're required to get to try to stay in compliance and to stay up to date. So I want to share something personal with you. Before I ever became a CPA, I was a single mom of two. I spent over $60,000 and 9 years earning my degree in CPA license. I carried a lot of financial fear, fear of not making enough, fear of making the wrong move, fear of losing what little stability I had built. So when I took over my mom's bookkeeping firm and saw how underpriced everything was, my first instinct wasn't confidence. It was, how am I going to survive this? It was survival. I worked harder. I said yes to more. I tried to be everything to everyone. And tax season, it freaking broke me year after year after year. And not because I wasn't capable, but because I wasn't charging in a way that supported the life I was trying to build to support two young kids. So here's what changed everything for me. And I want it to for you as well. I realized pricing is not about what clients want to pay. It's about what you need to lead your business well. You have to hire support, to set boundaries, to think clearly, to stop resenting the work. There's many of you that resent the work. You resent the business. Underpricing forces you into survival mode, and survival mode is where leadership goes to die, because you can't lead from surviving. And then you come into first quarter in January, you have payroll reports, you have 1099s, and then we go into tax season and it amplifies everything. If you're underpriced, tax season doesn't feel busy, it feels suffocating. And for some of you bookkeepers that are doing a lot of cleanup work in first quarter, many of you are so underpricing that work that you can't see straight, because now you're doing too much work for too little money with no margin and no room to breathe. And then you tell yourself, I'll fix pricing after tax season. This is what I hear a lot. But after tax season, you're too exhausted and you still don't. Because if I could bet, if you've hung out with me this long, you said that last year. Because I hear this over and over. And then I hear, I'll just increase my prices 10%. Well, when you're so underpriced, 10% doesn't make a bit of a difference. So sometimes you have to raise more than 10% or whatever it is, because your software probably went up way more than 10%. So this is why we don't just tell people to raise prices. We help you understand why pricing feels scary. Because for many of you, pricing feels like the scariest thing in the world to you. We also look at what beliefs are driving your decisions, how to raise prices without burning bridges, and how to do it in a way that supports you through tax season, not after it. Because confidence in pricing doesn't come from a script, it comes from clarity. It comes from actually understanding what your costs are, what your soft costs are, what do you want, what is the cost of your dream, what do you want from this business. Many of you left corporate to go work here, and it's actually worse than working in corporate. And I know, because these are the people that I talk to every single day. So this is exactly why pricing is such a core part of the promotion I have going on right now. Not because pricing is the only problem, but because it touches everything. It touches your workload, your team, your boundaries, your sanity during tax season, and let's be honest, even during the summer. So if you want a clear, structured way to work through pricing alongside with leadership and systems, we have the roadmap and bundle that walks you through this step by step. And if pricing feels emotionally heavy, if fear keeps you stopped, because we've worked with people that like could not hit the send button on a pricing increase. And this also helps with pricing new people as well as existing. We also have some one-to-one support to help you work through this in real time, especially heading into tax season, because you don't have to figure this out alone. And that was one of the things that I had to do, is I had to figure this out alone. That's how I landed in the coaching business, is because I didn't want anybody else to feel like I felt when we were doing it alone. And I want you to think about something. Underpricing is not a character flaw, it is often a survival response. But you can't lead a business or a life from survival mode forever. You deserve to be paid in a way that supports the work you do and the life you want. And I'm glad you're here. So if you want support with this, just comment support and let's just chat and see where you're at. And I'll reach out to you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. I hope this training opened up something for you and you realize, hey, I've got to do something. That was the point of the training. So look at your pricing, look at your client list, and see how much it makes you cringe. Because many of you, that's a long list and it makes you cringe every time you look at it. I hope to see you soon and have a fantastic rest of your day.